Would you rather be reborn into the top 1% of North Korea, with guaranteed status, free housing, and a job waiting for you the moment you're born? Or live the life you have now, including stress, bills, and questioning your life choices? You won't have to pay rent, never do another soul-crushing job interview, and stop wondering if you're falling hopelessly behind all your peers. Sounds peaceful, right? Let's walk you through that fantasy and see why in North Korea, even privilege comes with a price tag you can't afford. To really understand what elite life looks like in North Korea, we need to talk about the country's not-so-secret ingredient for social control, the Songbun system. Now, Songbun literally translates to ingredient in Korean. And honestly, that's kind of perfect, because in North Korea, people aren't judged by their character, their talents, or what they've accomplished. Nope, they're judged by what they're supposedly made of. Think of it like a really twisted recipe, where some ingredients are considered premium quality, and others are, well, let's just say they're not making it into the fancy dishes. The system splits North Korea's entire population into 3 main classes, and it's basically like being sorted into Hogwarts houses, except way more permanent and infinitely more terrifying. First up, we've got the core class. These are the regime's absolute favorites, the golden children, the teachers' pets of totalitarian society. We're talking about people who are politically pure, often descended from war heroes or Kim Il-sung's drinking buddies from way back in the day. These are the folks who have framed photos of the supreme leader in their living rooms and actually get emotional looking at them. Then there's the wavering class. Your factory workers, farmers, and basically everyone else who keeps the country running. They're useful to the regime, sure, but trusted? Not really. Think of them as that friend you like having around but would never tell your deepest secrets to. And finally, the hostile class, which is basically North Korea's way of saying these people are problematic. This includes former landowners, religious people, anyone whose family member had the audacity to defect. Or honestly, just someone who got caught listening to BTS on the wrong Wi-Fi network. Here's the kicker though, your Songbun determines literally everything about your existence, and it's locked in from the moment you're born. You don't get to apply for a better class. You can't earn your way up through hard work. You inherit your social status like it's some kind of cursed family heirloom. What determines your rank? Oh, just tiny little things like whether your great-grandfather supported the revolution back in the 1950s, if any distant relatives ever dare to question the regime, and yes, your sister's Spotify history could legitimately get your entire family in trouble. This isn't just some background social quirk. The Songbun system is North Korea. It's the entire operating system running the country. Your Songbun controls what kind of job you can even dream of having, whether you can join the military or the party, which schools will accept you, what kind of person you're allowed to marry, and whether you'll ever get to live in the most important city in North Korea. But what if you actually make it to that mysterious city? If you're born into the core class, congratulations! You've just won North Korea's version of the lottery. Except instead of cash, your prize is slightly better misery and a government rice card. You get to live in Pyongyang, North Korea's crown jewel. A city so perfectly curated, it almost looks normal, until you realize it's basically a giant movie set for foreigners and propaganda films. Your elite Pyongyang lifestyle includes an actual apartment with walls, working plumbing, and your very own front door. Electricity, a few hours a day when the grid cooperates and the power plant hamsters haven't given up. Food upgrades, like real rice instead of corn mush. Ramen that isn't just sadness water, and occasionally some canned meat that passed inspection. Hospitals that are usually open, sometimes stocked, rarely helpful. For fun, there's a Pyongyang Film Festival where every movie ends with Kim Jong-un solving world hunger. Plus the North Korean Disney World where the fireworks are missile tests and the popcorn is probably bugged. What really separates you from everyone else in North Korea? Rice. Core class gets white rice. Warm, clean, the good stuff. Everyone else? Corn rice. A gritty bowl of congratulations you're still alive. And no, this mixed rice isn't some trendy fusion cuisine. It's not a creative culinary choice. It's a massive red flag. See, in most Asian households, rice is sacred. You don't mess with it. You don't water it down. You absolutely do not insult it by mixing in corn. That's not innovation. That's culinary blasphemy. As for meat, if you're elite, maybe you get pork or fish once a week. If you're not, welcome to bean-paste dinners. Or if it's a really special occasion like Kim Il-sung's birthday, you might get some dog meat. Not because it's traditional, not because it tastes amazing, just because that's literally what's available when everything else has run out. All those perks sound pretty sweet, until you realize every single one comes with a massive asterisk. In North Korea, loyalty isn't something you earn once and keep forever, it's something you have to perform. Flawlessly, constantly, forever, or risk vanishing into thin air. And it starts ridiculously early. At the ripe old age of 7, you get enrolled in the Children's Union. Think Boy Scouts, except instead of earning merit badges for tying knots, you're collecting gold stars for memorizing Kim Jong-il quotes and perfecting your supreme leader applause technique. Then come the weekly life reviews. Mandatory confession sessions that make Catholic guilt look like a casual hobby. These aren't just school activities. They're full-blown psychological performance evaluations with prison camp consequences. Every single week, you've got 2 delightful tasks. First is self-criticism time, where you need to stand up in front of everyone and publicly confess how you personally let down the glorious revolution this week. Didn't praise Kim Jong-un enthusiastically enough? Strike 1. Forgot to study your ideology homework? Strike. Then there's the mutual criticism hour. Now it's time to throw your classmates under the bus. By publicly accusing them of being disloyal, even if they literally did nothing wrong, especially if they did nothing wrong. Now, here's the terrifying part. One wrong word, one suspicious facial expression, one accidental eye roll during a patriotic speech, and your entire family tree goes from core class elite to dangerously suspicious, faster than you can say supreme leader. No trial, no warning, no second chances, just a quiet keystroke in some bureaucrat's computer, and suddenly, everyone stops making eye contacts with you. Take Captain Lee Cholu, for example. He was born into the core class, an elite citizen. He served as an Air Force pilot. His father was a decorated war hero. His future was secure. But during the 1990s famine, Lee witnessed something horrific. An 8-year-old child was publicly executed for stealing sugar from a plum field that was reserved for Kim Jong-il. Disturbed, Lee quietly confided in a friend and said, "That's a bit much, right?" The next day, that friend reported him. Lee was immediately blacklisted. He spent the next 5 years in isolation, blamed for every problem in his unit, and cut off from any political future. Eventually, he defected to South Korea, not because he was against the regime, but because the regime had decided he no longer mattered. He wasn't dangerous, just disposable. Alright, so picture this. You've made it to the top, elite status unlocked, core class membership confirmed, Pyongyang apartment with your name on it. Living the absolute dream, right? Well, not exactly. You see, being elite in North Korea isn't what most people think it is. It's not some luxurious lifestyle where you're sipping champagne while everyone else suffers. Oh no, it's more like playing the world's most stressful game of freeze tag. Except if you move wrong, you don't just get tagged out, you get shipped off to a prison camp. And the person who's it? Yeah, that's Kim Jong-un with a very, very long list of rules. Want to know what it takes to stay in this so-called paradise? Buckle up, because here's your daily to-do list for maintaining elite status. First up, you need to become a walking Kim Jong-il quote machine. We're talking encyclopedic knowledge here. His thoughts on movies, agriculture, the proper way to clap, you name it, you better know it by heart. Next, enjoy those lovely extended ideology classes. Hope you like hearing about the greatness of Juche philosophy for the 1000th time, because that's basically your college curriculum right there. Oh, and career advancement? Good luck with that. You'll be competing with literally thousands of other core class members for maybe 5 decent jobs. It's like the world's most brutal game of musical chairs, except the music never stops, and the chairs are on fire. And here's the kicker. You need government permission for basically everything. Want to move to a different apartment? Get in line for approval. Planning to get married? Better hope the party likes your choice. Thinking about changing jobs? not without a stamp from 17 different officials. And then there are the purges, North Korea's unofficial national sport. Farmland got flooded this year. Well, obviously that's someone's fault. Can't blame Mother Nature when you've got perfectly good scapegoats walking around. Crop failure ruining the harvest? Time to round up 5 mid-level officials and make them permanently unemployed. And by unemployed, we mean dead. Kim Jong-un had a bad dream about someone questioning his haircut? Congratulations, now everyone within a 50-mile radius is suddenly under suspicion. Here's where it gets really fun, and by fun, I mean absolutely terrifying. When they decide to purge someone, they don't just stop at that one person. Oh no, that would be far too reasonable. We're talking full scorched earth policy here. Entire departments vanish overnight. Not just the guy who supposedly committed the crime, but his family, his co-workers, his drinking buddies, and probably that random person who said good morning to him at the bus stop 3 years ago. They're really thorough about this stuff. Want to know how paranoid this system gets? Even Kim Jong-un's own uncle, family, blood relation, wedding photos together, wasn't safe from the purge machine. The guy got executed, and then just to make sure they got everyone, his entire extended family got the same treatment. Friends, assistants, in-laws, probably the guy who delivered their groceries, all got. So here's the thing about being in North Korea's elite class. Unless you're literally made of stone and have perfected the art of kissing up to a level that would make a medieval court jester jealous, maybe don't get too comfortable in that fancy Pyongyang apartment. Because in North Korea, job security doesn't exist, and neither might you if you're unlucky enough to be in the wrong place when someone needs a scapegoat.